Wonderful mother smiling face with hearts. Rihanna and her second son Riot in Los Angeles. A love the world can feel. The sun was low over Los Angeles, that soft golden hour glow turning sidewalks into runways and ordinary moments into memories. Cars slowed. Phones came out. But Rihanna didn't notice, or maybe she didn't care. Her attention was locked on the small bundle in her arms. Her second son, Riot, rested against her chest, safe, calm, completely unaware that his mother was one of the most famous women on earth. In that moment, Rihanna wasn't a global icon, billionaire businesswoman, or chart-topping artist. She was simply a mother. And somehow, that version of her felt even more powerful. There's something magnetic about seeing a woman who has conquered the world choose tenderness over spectacle. Rihanna's motherhood journey, especially her life with her second son, Riot, in Los Angeles, has quietly become one of the most beautiful narratives in modern celebrity culture. Not because it's flashy, but because it's real. This is the story of a wonderful mother. This is Rihanna, redefined not by fame, but by love. From global superstar to grounded mother. For over a decade, Rihanna lived at the speed of superstardom. Tour buses, studio sessions, fashion weeks, red carpets, endless travel. The world knew her voice, her style, her fearless energy. But behind the scenes, there was always something more, an emotional depth that fans sensed but never fully saw. Motherhood didn't change Rihanna. It revealed her. When she welcomed her first child, the shift was immediate. The industry noticed it. Fans felt it. Rihanna moved differently, more intentionally, more protectively. And when Riot entered the world as her second son, that transformation deepened. In Los Angeles, a city built on image and ambition, Rihanna found something grounding: routine, presence, and purpose. She wasn't running away from her career, she was anchoring it. Los Angeles, the backdrop of a new chapter. Los Angeles has a strange relationship with celebrities. It both magnifies and normalizes them. One minute you're a legend, the next you're just another parent pushing a stroller down a sunlit street. For Rihanna, LA became the perfect place to raise her growing family. Spacious but private. Creative but calm. A city where she could exist without always being on. With Riot, LA became less about premieres and more about parks. Less about nightlife and more about nap schedules. Less about flashing cameras and more about quiet mornings. And yet, even in those quiet moments, Rihanna's presence carried weight, not because of fame, but because of the energy she radiated as a mother fully in her element. Who is Riot? A name full of meaning. Naming a child is an act of intention. Choosing a name like Riot speaks volumes. Riot isn't about chaos. It's about freedom. Expression. Strength. Refusing to be boxed in. For Rihanna, a woman who has spent her entire life breaking molds, the name feels deeply personal. Riot represents the fire she's carried since Barbados. The resilience she's earned through pain. The courage she hopes her son will inherit. In Los Angeles, as she carries Riot through daily life, the symbolism feels complete. A woman who once disrupted industries now nurturing a child named after rebellion, but raised with love, stability, and care. The quiet power of Rihanna's motherhood. What makes Rihanna's motherhood so compelling is how unperformative it is. She doesn't overshare. She doesn't monetize every moment. She doesn't turn her children into content. Instead, she protects them. When Rihanna is seen with Riot in Los Angeles walking, holding him close, adjusting his blanket, it's never staged. There's no forced smile for the cameras. There's calm. Focus. Intuition. She holds her children like someone who waited for this chapter. Like someone who understands how precious time is. Like someone who knows the world can wait. That restraint? That's power. Balancing career, creativity, and care. Rihanna didn't step away from her empire when she became a mother. She restructured it. Fenty continues to thrive. Her influence remains undeniable. Her creative spark hasn't dimmed. But now, everything flows around her children, not the other way around. In Los Angeles, her days aren't dictated by meetings alone. They're shaped by feeding schedules, naps, and family rhythms. She creates space for work without sacrificing presence. She chooses quality over quantity, impact over noise. For many women watching, especially mothers, this balance feels revolutionary. Rihanna isn't proving she can do it all. She's showing that choosing matters. Riot and the softening of a global icon. There's a tenderness in Rihanna now that feels earned. Riot didn't just add to her life, he softened the edges carved by years of pressure, criticism, and survival. Motherhood gave her permission to slow down, to prioritize emotion over expectation. In public moments with Riot, you see it. The protective way she adjusts her hold. The instinctive glance downward. The small smiles meant only for him. These moments humanize a woman once placed on an unreachable pedestal. They remind the world that behind the hits, the fashion, the wealth, there is a mother learning her child's cues, fears, and joys. Representation that matters. Seeing Rihanna as a mother, especially a black mother raising her sons with intentionality, matters deeply. She represents choice without guilt, strength without hardness, success without sacrifice of self. In Los Angeles, a city where narratives are often manufactured, Rihanna's authenticity stands out. She doesn't need to announce her values. She lives them. For young women watching, for mothers navigating their own journeys, Rihanna's example feels grounding. She's not perfect. She's present. And that's enough. Protecting childhood in a public world. One of Rihanna's most powerful acts as a mother is what she doesn't show. Riot's life is not content. His milestones are not public property. His childhood is sacred. In an era where celebrity children grow up under constant exposure, Rihanna's boundary setting is deliberate. Los Angeles may be filled with cameras, but her children remain shielded. That protection speaks volumes about her priorities. Fame doesn't override motherhood. Access doesn't replace responsibility. Love in motion, Rihanna and her sons. Watching Rihanna move through Los Angeles with her sons feels like watching love in motion. There's no rush. No distraction. No performance. Just a woman who knows exactly where she needs to be. Riot, cradled close, becomes the center of her world not because she abandoned everything else, but because she chosen to be. That choice is what makes her motherhood wonderful. Not the luxury. Not the attention. The intention. Growth, healing, and the mother she became. Rihanna's journey to motherhood wasn't linear. It was shaped by heartbreak, growth, resilience, and self-discovery. Becoming a mother didn't erase her past, it reframed it. She knows what it means to protect herself now. To demand respect. To create safety. And those lessons are woven into how she raises Riot. In Los Angeles, far from the girl she once was but deeply connected to her roots, Rihanna stands as a woman who healed enough to nurture. That's not something you can fake. Why the world can't look away. People don't watch Rihanna with Riot because she's famous. They watch because the love is undeniable. It's the same reason strangers smile when they pass a mother holding her child. The same reason moments of tenderness stop time. Rihanna reminds the world that even the most extraordinary lives are built on ordinary acts of love, feeding, holding, comforting, showing up. And somehow, that makes her more extraordinary than ever. A mother first, always. At the end of the day, when the sun sets over Los Angeles and the city quiets, Rihanna goes home to the same responsibilities as millions of other mothers. She soothes. She nurtures. She protects. Riot won't remember the cameras or the headlines. He'll remember warmth, presence, safety. And that is Rihanna's greatest legacy, not her music, not her empire, but the love she pours into her children. Final reflection: what wonderful mother really means. A wonderful mother isn't defined by perfection. She's defined by intention, by presence, by love that shows up every day. Rihanna, walking through Los Angeles with her second son Riot, embodies that truth. She doesn't announce it. She lives it. And in doing so, she reminds the world that the most powerful role a woman can play is one she chooses with her whole heart. Wonderful mother. Rihanna. Riot. Love without limits. Riot, a name, a statement, a promise. The name Riot carries weight. It suggests strength, individuality, and fearlessness, qualities Rihanna herself embodies. But in her arms, Riot isn't a symbol or a statement. He's a baby, loved fiercely and protected intentionally. Naming him Riot feels like a quiet promise that he will grow up free to be himself, unburdened by expectations, supported by love rather than pressure. It reflects Rihanna's belief in raising children who are emotionally secure, confident, and grounded, no matter how famous their last name may be. The soft power of motherhood. There's a softness to Rihanna now that feels earned, not manufactured. Motherhood hasn't dimmed her edge, it has refined it. She moves with assurance, not urgency. With intention, not impulse. When she holds Riot, it's instinctive. Protective. Natural. These moments resonate because they aren't curated. They're lived. In an era where celebrity parenting is often broadcast and branded, Rihanna's restraint speaks volumes. She shows just enough to remind the world she's human and keeps the rest sacred. Balancing an empire and a cradle. Rihanna hasn't stepped away from her career. She's simply repositioned it. Her businesses continue to thrive, her influence remains unmatched,